How's it going, guys? In this video I'll be showing you how to change your brake pads on your SSR 125. The brake pads cost about $7 on Amazon, and I'll show you how to install them and break them in properly. Leave a comment if you want me to do more tutorials like this, more how-tos, or any type of riding video as well. Alright, so first we're going to start off with a 13mm socket. Removing these two bolts right here.
I said 13 mil socket, but I believe I've broke these bolts before, so yours might be a different socket size. Mind you, these bolts should have had Loctite on them. Here I'm just showing you the mechanics of how the slider works on the brakes with the bigger brake pad up against the little one. Now I'll use a flat bladed screwdriver and push the piston back in, forcing all the brake fluid back into the reservoir so you can remove one of the brake pads. This could take some finagling to get off and on, so just play around with it. But you should be able to push it all the way forward toward the other brake pad, and that bottom one should slide out. After that, you can just move that big metal piece straight back toward the little brake pad and slide the top one off now in a pivoting motion. Release one side and then swing it over and release the other side, as you see here. That piece slides off. Now, take note of this retaining pin that actually holds in the smaller right side of the brake pad toward the piston. Notice the orientation. There's also a slit that it goes into. Here I'm just comparing the old brake pad to the new one. As you see, this one's warped and worn in kind of weird, along with this one as well. This one had a chunk missing. These are the new brake pads purchased off of Amazon, like I said in the intro, for about $7. The color doesn't really matter, I don't believe. Here I'm just verifying that it is the same piece, which it is. The link to the brake pads will be in the description of the video. You can see the uneven wear on the left old brake pad. Back to that retaining pin I was telling you about. So it slides into that notch right there and kind of just holds itself in place. So you kind of need 3 hands to do this. One to hold that retaining pin in, slide this outside bracket on, and then slide the smaller brake pad in. Takes some finagling. This video actually took a lot longer, but I edited it down. You just got to play with it until you get it right. Hook on one side of the big brake pad, rotate it around, and with enough squeezing, you can actually get it back on. Mind you, there's more padding on this brake pad, obviously, because it's new, so it's a little thicker than the old one taking it off, so you might have to push that piston down a little bit more. But once you have it on, you'll see it'll sit in there. Do not press the brake with the brake pads not on a rotor. That will squeeze them together, and it will be super hard to get them off. Here I'm just realigning the brake pad onto the rotor. As you see, it's probably going to be a really tight fit because of how much pad is on there. Once you get it on, go ahead and bolt down one side and then bolt down the other side. Don't be alarmed if it's too hard to turn the wheel we'll address that in the next step. Loctite is very important on these. Like I said, I had to replace these bolts because my other ones fell off. I didn't put Loctite on them, and I was riding, and the brake caliper was actually hanging off the side of the bike. So be sure to Loctite these. I use red Loctite here. It doesn't really matter, red or blue. Here I'm just hand tightening them down. I'll get the bike off the stand and actually put a little torque on them. I'll show you here, see how hard it is to turn this wheel, and that left brake pad, the bigger one, actually moves. If you pump the brake a little bit, it compresses and decompresses the brake pad according to the rotor. As you can see, it spins a little more freely. Still got a lot of play with that other one, but these brake pads have not been bedded in yet. You can see the slight movement in and out of those brake pads. I would say pump the brake 3 or 4 times, putting more pressure each time. You can see the wheels moving more freely. Here I'm just making sure that the tire will lock up before I go and test ride. The worst thing you want to do is go and ride without rear brakes. And then here I'm just tightening them down just a little bit more on those calipers. Here I'm just doing a test ride, going about 2nd gear and then slowing down, putting steady, constant pressure onto the brakes, not coming to a complete stop, but just adding pressure, heating up those brake pads and getting them bedded in. I did this about 5 to 8 times. And once you get your brakes seated, then you can do really cool wheelies and not fall over. So here's what it looks like afterward. You can see a lot less play on that left big brake pad after it's been bedded. Be careful after you ride. Those brakes will be hot. Thank you for watching. Like I said, if you want to see more videos like this, more how-tos, just leave a comment down, subscribe for new videos. I got another video coming up very soon. Thank you.